Hello, hello. What's up, YouTube? This is Mike DelPrete, Executive Director of the Arizona Real Estate Investors Association. And I am jumping on to continue the 64 episodes of From Success Principles to Properties. All right. So this is where I break down the book by Jack Canfield, Success Principles. Changed my life, changed the way I operate in life. So I want to go over those 64 lessons with everyone on this page. So I'm just giving it a minute, as always, just to let some people hop on as we get started. So it's good. So, as always, drop your questions, comments, concerns in the chat. I will answer them as I see them come in. So I will kick it off here right now. So, here at AZREIA, the Arizona Real Estate Investors Association, we're passionate about empowering individuals like you on your real estate journey, providing the knowledge and tools you need to thrive. In this daily show, we're diving into the principles from Jack Canfield's Success Principles and exploring how these lessons can be applied directly to your real estate ventures. I'll be sharing not only the ins and outs of each principle, but also my personal experiences and insights on how these lessons have played a crucial role in my real estate business. So whether you're a seasoned investor or taking your first steps into real estate, there's something here for everyone. We go live every day here on YouTube. It's just every day. I haven't committed to a time yet. So if you want to learn more about real estate investing and find out why real estate's an ideal investment and change your financial future, head to azreia.org. In the description, I do have a library of real estate investing ebooks at no cost for you to check out. So today's lesson, like I said, I had to embed these lessons into my mind and beat them into my head every single day. It wasn't a read the book one time and everything turned out and worked out for me. I'm just like everybody else. I was working 50 hours a week, just trying to figure out what I wanted to do in my life. I was job hopping, jumping around, bad credit, no money, that whole thing. But at one point I was working at Verizon Wireless, like I said, 50 hours a week, and I just knew I wanted something more. I knew I wanted something better out of life, and I knew that wasn't it, right? So I kept searching and searching and trying new things. I was curious, reading books, but for some reason, a lot of books resonated with me, but this one really stuck with me. And I think one of the key points that really stuck with me on this book was the negativity and the negative beliefs and thoughts. Always like, oh, this person's out to get me. Oh, that won't work. Oh, that's not true. Just because the way the past is the past. It's the way we grew up. The people around us, just the environments I was in. No hard feelings, right? It's just so when something always seemed too good to be true. So I really had to get out of that mindset and believe that it can happen, believe that there is a better life, believe that there are better ways of doing things. There are people that care about you. There are people that want to support your journey rather than thinking everyone's out to get you. So that was my personal issue, right? And I still get, so if you go back, I'm going to repeat some of the stuff I say, but if you go back to the last 6 episodes, I still get some of those thoughts, right? So we're always trying to climb this ever going ladder. It doesn't stop, and sometimes I revert to some negative thinking, and one of the lessons in this book was like, you have to catch yourself and say stop, right? Stop thinking about that. Stop running that fake scenario in your head about that other person or that other situation. Just stop it. Just stop, and then try to replace it with something positive or optimistic, right? It's a tool. It's a new muscle you have to build, and it's hard, right? So that's what this is about. I won't drag down in that. I'll jump into the lesson. Today's lesson: unleash the power of goal setting. So if it looks like I'm reading, I probably am, because I didn't memorize the book, right? So I just took down. I want to be able to share some the verbiage from the book. Highly recommend you go check out the book. Probably can get it any bookstore or Amazon. And and then I'll give scenarios within the book, like I already started to do. This is my personal situations that happened to me, and maybe that will help you when you're stuck in your real estate business or any business that you're in. So, unleash the power of goal setting. If you want to be happy, set a goal that commands your thoughts, liberates your energy, and inspires your hope. He has a lot of great quotes. So, once you have your purpose, vision, needs, and desires, you need to convert them into specific, measurable goals, then act on them with certainty you will achieve them. So I'm going to always refer to the previous lessons because these all go in order, right? So you can learn and understand more. If you happen just to find one of these random episodes, you just need to go back because we're building a foundation for you to grow off of. So it's very important to check back and watch the replays. I'll always be checking out the comments. So if you have a question on any of these episodes, drop a comment. I'll jump back in or follow up on the next episode, and let's get a live chat going. You have to be certain you will achieve them. So that's one of those negative things, right? Like sometimes you think these goals are so far-fetched or unachievable, and there's so many ways to fix that. But you have to have that certainty that you really know you will get something that you want or you will achieve, whether it's negative or positive, right? How can you turn that certainty into progression? So act on them with certainty and you will achieve them. Your brain is a goal-setting organism. Whatever goal you give to your subconscious mind, it will work to achieve. So I have some mentors that are always been like, one guy, he's just like, hey, as long as you just wrote it down and you read it to yourself once, your mind knows. Now it's up to you to act on it. And then there's some that, it's a little bit, they suggest that you got to write it down every day, right? And read it every day. I'm not here to say I'm going to give my suggestions, but whatever works for you, right? Because if you want it bad enough and you visualize it and you're passionate and purpose about it, you have a purpose towards it, just like we said in the last episodes, I do think you don't have to do it as much. But some of us, we're in a rut. Sometimes you got to work a little bit harder than others. So your brain is seeking this goal that you have in your mind, and you got to deliver that to your subconscious. So there's a criteria to that. So if you wanted to lose weight, right, 10 pounds, whatever it is, whatever you weigh, you can't just say, I want to lose 10 pounds. I'm going to do it, at some point, right? It's, I will weigh 150 by June 30th, right? You have to have a how much by when. That's this. You got to have that basic criteria in there. Be specific as possible. Vague goals produce vague results. So however you can envision your future, like that's why we talked about affirmations and vision boards and visualization and meditation, just kind of thinking through it. Hey, what will you look like? What size clothes will you wear? Where will you be standing? Where will you be listening to? What will be the scenery around you? What people will be around you, right? How clear can you visualize? How clear can you get? And you want to use those I will, I am type statements with how much and by when. Write it down so your subconscious knows what to work on. So if I just said, hey, go to the store and get me something, get me a bag of chips. Like, what store? What kind of chips, right? Well, the closest store is 20 minutes away. Do you drive, bike, car? You want me to go by myself? It's laid out. Like what I don't know, right? So you need these specifics, these specific criterias. The more you can give your mind, the easier it'll be able to direct. So I love that quote, vague goals produce vague results. Now, so how do you do that? You write it down. So your mind knows what to work on. Goals that stretch you, make you uncomfortable, are important, right? So because when in order to master life, you need new skills, new relationships to you need to overcome fear and all these roadblocks. So you need it needs to, not a goal. It needs to be something bigger, right? That you want to achieve. Most likely, that's why you're watching this, right? Is to change your life and achieve something that you haven't done. So what we would do is call that like a. We'd also want you to have like a breakthrough goal, not a small goal. So like, so if you want to get into real estate investing, maybe you want to buy your first property, or you want to raise a certain amount of money. But let's think bigger, right? Let's first, that's what you're gonna do, right? Like, how do I get my first deal? You're gonna have the goal of certain coaching, mentoring, certain networking. You're gonna have a certain basics route to follow. We also want that big one. It's kind of like if you're in the sports and they're always running the ball trying to get gain a few yards to get a first down, gain a few yards, get a first down. That's what you're doing on a daily basis. But really, you want to look at it is like, hey, I want to get on the field, and what if I threw that 50-yard pass and made a touchdown, or just moved yourself way up the field? What is that for you, right? So let's also have that stretched out goal that's further, a little bigger than the basic ones you're starting with. So for me, I mean, there was a lot of them. So it's like, well, first, some of the basic goals. Like maybe you want to get your license. Maybe you want to go from full time to part time. Maybe you want to become an appraiser. Maybe there's just so many different basic goals you could have. But the quantum leap, some of my basic goals was buying a sixplex. I remember I wanted to go transition from single family to multifamily, and actually bought a triplex before that. But it's like just that thought of more zeros, more responsibility, bigger purchase price, more renovations potentially, like versus like when I would do like a condo or a smaller single family house, right? So every time you think it wasn't, and looking back, it was never really even. It was more to do is everything I just said, but it really wasn't a big deal. So so me, was going into that larger projects for real estate investing. Also, another one is I used to build my network. I used to host that Cash Flow 101 board game. And from that game, I used to host it every Saturday at 12 o'clock. We played for like 2 hours. I would build relationships, teach people real estate. And it worked. I raised money. I did real estate deals. It just built my own like little mini community. And then I had the opportunity to take over, the Arizona Real Estate Investors Association, the largest REIA in the country. And I always wanted, it was a goal. It was a stretched out goal, but I was always nervous. Like I had to lean into it. I had to step into it. I don't even, it's kind of like pulling the Band-Aid off, right? So it was a tough thing, but it was a goal, right? And it by little steps every day going towards it, it ultimately happened. So when you're fighting and pushing towards that big goal as you're doing your daily business in real estate, you're becoming what Jack would say is, make goals so big enough that in the progress of achieving it, you become someone worth being. So going for these bigger goals, you're going to have bigger opportunities, bigger relationships. And when I was working on my notes for this episode, I was in Vegas where I specifically flew out to a conference. I didn't even go to the conference. I just went to one of the events beforehand, the opening event, just to meet two different people. Like I got invited, and there's just two people I needed to meet in order to build connections that are going to grow my sphere of influence and grow my personal relationships, which ultimately are here to help grow, and so we can impact more people here at the Arizona Real Estate Investors Association. So just flying out, and I did it the night before our 21st anniversary, which is a big event. We had over 200 real estate investors there. We had a charity drive for Maggie's Place, right? So we're raising money and supplies for single pregnant women, and I had to fly out to an event the night before. So it's nerve wracking. What if the flight is late? What if it gets canceled? I'm hosting the event. Like, what if I'm not here for our own? The owner's not there for their own anniversary, right? So I considered not going, but I took the risk. I took the leap. I flew out there for one night, got a hotel, all that stuff, just to have a 10-minute conversation, which set the tone for future possible opportunities. So put yourself in those situations to seek these goals. It's called as you seek them, it's called structural tension. Your brain wants to close the gap between the current reality and your vision. So you have to trust yourself, right? You got to believe in yourself. You got to trust your instincts. So I truly believe everything happens for a reason. I still pinch myself every time I wake up, and I'm like, wow, I can't believe 10 years ago I was here, and now I'm doing what I used to imagine me doing. Like, hey, that'd be cool if I didn't have a job and could just do real estate all day, right? And I was like, oh, that would be cool if I could just do real estate all day and teach people how to do real estate and not be like some blown out, like some, flashy type scenario where I got to dangle carrots in people's face to get them interested, you know what I mean? And make them pay all this money. It's like I could do something for the community and still take care of my family and do real estate and help people and make a good living without being obnoxious, maybe. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But so structural tension, your brain. So when you set that clear, so let's go back to the last previous episodes. We're building the foundation, and once again, we're talking about having that clear vision, and you're going to have to set the how much and by when. So you got to use the criteria. I want to make X amount of money by this date, and I'm going to do it and have a mini plan on the actions you're going to take. And you read it to yourself. I am going to have the clear vision on it. Like I said, who are you going to be with? What's the environment look like? What's it sound like? What's it feel like? Just as clear as day as you can get. Visualize it. Write it down. How much by when. Have all these 10 different goals, whatever it is, 3 goals, 100 goals, whatever it is. Write it down and read it. Just let's go for twice a day. Get it to 2 or 3. At least read it twice, 2 to 3 days, twice a day, 2 to 3 times a day. And it's like working out a muscle, feeding it protein, right? Like you just got to get there. You got to do it. If you're in a rut and you think everything I'm saying is kind of crazy, believe in me, it will work, but just test it out. One mentor would always tell me, pick a coach, pick a mentor, whoever it is, whatever it is. There's a lot out there and a lot of great people out there. Stick with what they do for 6 months. That's it. They have a plan. Follow the plan. Don't be a disruptor, right? Like when you're new and you figure it out and you got experience, okay, you could change it and tweak it. But in the very beginning, someone that you believe in and they got a good reputation, they say do XYZ, do XYZ. Do everything they say for 6 months. Buy their course, download their course, watch it on YouTube, whatever you got to do, and just do it consistently every single day. And if you fall behind, pick yourself back up, wipe yourself off, and just do it again. It's another day. Just do that for 6 months. I guarantee you will find success. So you're going to do the how much by when with specific, clear goals. Remember, vague goals produce vague results. You're going to read it to yourself minimum twice a day. And that's all you got to do. And even something like not even like so specific to real estate. I remember when we wanted to buy my first house. My first house, this was maybe like 13, 14 years ago. And I had bad credit. I was trying to fix my credit. I had a job. we were looking for a property to buy in a good area, and it was kind of stressful. You know, I never bought a house before. I wasn't in real estate yet, and right, it's the biggest purchase, the American dream, right? And you know, I'm just taking the right steps, right? I'm finding a loan officer, I'm finding a real estate agent, I'm fixing my credit, I'm reading on about how to maintain a home, and I'm just telling people what I'm doing, and I'm just being conscious and active of everything. And I was telling a family member, one of my uncles that I don't see often, uh, I guess when my grandmother passed away, she had left me like $15,000 or something. I didn't know. She said give it to Mike at some age. No idea what she had planned, but whatever it was, cause I'm just saying when you're in the game, you're swinging the bat. It even wasn't like, and I was just taking the motions and the moment and the steps and building momentum to getting my first house for my family. Your family catches wind and it's like, hey, I heard you're getting a house, so you know you have 15K if you wanted to put it towards the property. You know, I'm not supposed to give it to you yet, but that seems like a something your grandmother would like, you know, or appreciate or want to help with. So here you go, and there you go. Like then I had my down payment. Like I'm saving money, you know, cutting corners, you know, trying to just stack up our money so we can get a down payment. And while you're working 50 hours a week, and that just put a huge relief and made that whole down payment easier. So because I was working on it, thinking about it, and like I said, knowledge is power, but applied knowledge is true power. That's what really got me. You know what I mean? That action and the momentum building, going towards your goal. Things like that start to happen. That's I could say that in real estate investing. Just like I always point out to AZREIA, you know, one day I'll go over my story, but it's like I started as a member 12 years ago, not knowing anything, working full time, to going to all the network events, taking the training workshops, meeting the other investors in the group, shaking hands, getting to know people, going to lunches, then in buying courses or watching YouTube videos, then applying them, and then starting to actually get close, you know, I actually got a condo, right? So I actually got a condo under contract. Then I can go to the meetings and be like, I'm talking to a homeowner that wants to sell their house at a discount. What do I do? What do I say? Can someone help me? Will you look at, hey, how do you comp a property? How do you evaluate what I should offer? How do you know how much repairs it needs? Now people in the community are like, yeah, I'll help you out. Successful people want to help new people coming up in the local RIAs. So now you could have even better conversations. It's hard at first when you're so stuck in fear and you don't want to apply everything you've been reading. It's all built up and stuck inside your brain. You gotta let it out, and the only way you're gonna be able to let it out is by applying what you learned, even if you mess up. There's no such thing as failure, just feedback, right? So you should learn from that feedback and just don't do it again and get better. So when I started applying this stuff I'm learning, I felt that I was lucky enough to apply it faster than most new people I see. It's like good things start happening. You're like, someone's like, I'll help you with that. You know what I mean? And then, you know, I ultimately sold that property with a bandit sign, met an owner of the head of the board of the HOA, actually bought it from me. So now I had this person that runs HOAs that is in my Rolodex or my phone now, right? So then on the second deal, I still didn't know what I was doing. I was just applying what the videos I got said to do, and I was just doing what they said. Had no clue. You know, I knew it was real now because I cashed that first check on the condo, and then I started driving for dollars. When you look for the ugliest houses in the neighborhood, so vacant, abandoned, whatever it is, you send a letter. There's different ways to do it now. And the owner called. They weren't living in there, and the house was trashed. The son was squatting in there. Had no electricity. It was this crazy situation, but that led me to get it under contract. And then I was trying to sell my contract to other investors, which once again, I'm back out there again. Hey guys, hey everyone, I got another one. You want to talk about it? What do you think? Da da da. And now I'm getting learning lessons. I'm having solid investor conversations that I never thought I would have, even though I probably didn't make sense all the time. but I would get corrected, and I would pay attention and listen more than I talked to the people that were giving me their perspective on the property. The first buyer that walked that property was one of the biggest, at the time, one of the biggest cash buyers in the city of Phoenix. At that time, he had like 300 houses, well known and respected around the whole town. And he called me off Craigslist ad, right? Something like that. So it's like now he's in my phone, right? And now I got another serious investor and buyer that I can reach out and ask questions and grow my relationships. So you really got to. It all starts with these foundational principles, these 64 principles in Jack Canfield's book. And there's plenty of other books that are like it, right? But I really needed to repetitively repeat these things to myself and apply them in my situations, in my daily life, to ultimately grow. And like we said, like we wrote down over here, what's it say? Oh, yeah. Results equal opportunities. So the more you're taking action and applying this stuff, opportunities happen. You will ultimately be building bigger relationships. You'll be becoming a different person. You'll be building new skills in order to be that person in your vision that you want to do in 3 months, 6 months, a year, or that person that owns a bunch of rental properties, or that person that flips a bunch of houses. That's not you right now. You need to do these fundamental exercises and applications to every day build a new skill set, a new mindset, new relationships, and you expand and grow till you ultimately become that person that could handle that fix and flip and ask that get the money for a down payment, get a hard money loan, but raise the money, have the skills to organize a project and get a crew in there and renovate it, understand how to run numbers. That you're not, if you're brand new, you're not that person, or wherever you're at in your world where you want to grow. You're just not that person yet, but you can be over time through the journey. So write them down, get clear, read them every day. This is number 7, episode 7 out of 64. Subscribe, like, ask a question, whatever you like. I'm going to show up every day and keep doing these sessions. Tomorrow we're going to be talking for episode 8. Chunking it down. So you got this big goal, you're thinking about it, and you're visualizing it. Now you know what it is. So how do you chunk it down into maybe like a basic plan and understand it so you could apply and work towards it? So Mike DelPrete, AZREIA, AZREI.org. If you're ever in Phoenix, check us out. Come to a networking event. We have about 15 a month throughout the state of Arizona. We have a newsletter you could download. We have anything you need to know about Arizona real estate. We are your main source. So thank you for being here once again, and I'll catch you tomorrow.